And good morning. It is 10:10 and time for the Stay Fit Seniors program with Dr. Roger Russo. I'm Carrie Potter. Good morning. Dr. Roger Russo is a chiropractor, author, and developer of the Stay Fit Senior program. Welcome, Dr. Russo.
Good morning, Carrie. Thanks for having me.
And we're here today to talk about your new book, which is Stay Fit Seniors, Saving Seniors, Baby Boomers, and America's Healthcare Costs. And we are welcoming calls this morning. The number here is 362-0013. And I understand you've been on the Clem Show before, Dr. Russo.
Yes, we have. Many years ago, Dr. Laura and I, my partner, who helped co-write the book and the program, we were on the Crazy Clem Show, and he got us a little started in radio, got me a little used to standing and sitting in front of a microphone.
And you also work with the Office for the Aging. We had a program here on WRCR for a while called, what was it called? Senior Focus.
Yes.
And you have been on that show before and sponsored it as well. Thank you.
Yeah, they're a great institution in Rockland County. In fact, a lot of the seniors that come to our program call because of the newsletter they give out called Moving Forward. And tremendous response from that. But they're in my office, my seniors, and they pick up those flyers regularly.
Well, we do hope to be hearing from the Office for the Aging today, but I just have to mention real quick, one of my most favorite shows that I've done on Senior Focus was with you when you had Jack LaLanne's family participate in the show. They were just so energetic, and, it was just a really great show. Yeah,
Elaine, LaLanne, and Dan, and the whole family is continuously working to carry on the LaLanne tradition of caring and focus and inspiring people to take responsibility in things, which we're going to be talking about a little bit later today. They're a great family.
Well, let's talk about your book a little bit. First of all, it is available in your office, which is located where?
In Congers, New York, or in Dr. Laura's office in Garnerville, but in my office particularly, you can get a signed copy if you'd like.
And I definitely recommend that. I have a copy of the book, and it's very inspirational.
We also have it available online at stayfitseniorsbook.com.
So you can just get it from the comfort of your own home. But I do recommend going out to the office, meeting Dr. Russo, and you are willing to sign a copy for people, so
Absolutely.
That's great. So in the book, you're taking a different perspective on healthcare issues in the United States. You're saying that the big issue is not the government and affordable insurance, not the pharmaceutical companies, and not the food industry. That it's basically our lazy lifestyle.
Basically, you said a mouthful there. Absolutely right. Our lazy lifestyle, not taking responsibility for bringing to light the God-given potential we all have to live a healthy, wonderful life and not get caught up in, oh, I'm getting older, or oh, I got to go to work, or I have to do this and do that, and not take that responsibility to stay healthy, to be alive, and to live the best you possibly can.
So what happens when we're not so active, when we're lazy, as you say, and we don't really exercise, and we're getting older, we're more likely to have chronic health issues? Yes.
What basically happens is even the insurance companies now are starting to realize that for every dollar they spend in prevention, they save anywhere from $3 to $13 per individual of treatment of chronic disease, depending upon what preventative program you do. They realize it. Why doesn't the individual person realize that? I go on to say in the beginning of the book, it opened up and it says the wealth of this country depends upon the health of its people. Well, the bottom line is, if you stay active, you stay physically fit in any form, not just to Stay Fit Senior program, but make a conscious effort to stay physically active, work your muscles, work your heart, work your lungs, you reduce that potential falling prey to chronic disease, which is sapping the economic life out of this country. So you can get politically involved all you want, but stay active, and that will help with the reduction of healthcare costs and help the individual person stay healthy for a very, very long time.
Dr. Russo, I shared with you a little bit about myself, and that I'm embarrassed to say, I'm proud to say that I was working out with weight training about 3 times a week, quite consistently for years. And I recently slacked off a little bit. And I got to answer that.
Go ahead,
no,
answer
okay,
that
it stopped.
Okay.
So I slacked off. I've gotten too busy with work, is my excuse, and I haven't been doing my weight training. I noticed the change in my body, the change in my energy level.
You can answer that, and I'll take care of that. Hopefully she's got a caller calling in right now. But in any event, Carrie's right. She did notice that, and the body can break down rather quickly. The good news is that whether you're 63 or 93, research shows that a woman 93 years of age, once she starts resistance weight training program of any kind, but of a good structured program, she will gain again muscle mass. She will then again gain bone mass. At the same time, she's going to gain or have better mood about life. But it can be done. You can start anytime. You just got to start slow. You got to start smart, and that's what we're all about. And hopefully she's got some callers calling in right now.
And we do have a caller, so we're going to go to the phones. Hi, you're on WRCR.
Yes, good morning, Dr. Russo, and good morning, Carrie.
Good morning.
I just wanted to find out exactly what the Stay Fit Seniors program is and what it does entail, if there's an evaluation that's done, based on the person's needs and so on and so forth.
Yep. First of all, can I ask your age?
56.
God bless you. Okay, then I commend you for taking control now rather than waiting till you're 60 or 70 and realizing it's too late. Or not really too late, but late start in life. In any event, the beautiful part about the Stay Fit Senior program in Rockland, really around the country, is that we designed this in a healthcare setting or monitored by a healthcare professional, myself, Dr. Russo in Congers, and Dr. Lauro up in Garnerville. And basically when you come in, we have you fill out a questionnaire naturally, and we ask what you're looking to accomplish, and then we take you through a series of ranges of motion to see if you can fare well on the Stay Fit Senior Circuit program. We do ask your health questions, evaluate your health by simple questions. We ask you who your medical doctor is, if you're given a green light to exercise. If not, we might send you back for a health care waiver from your medical doctor to say that it's okay. And then we personally take you through the first half-hour session at the Stay Fit Senior program. And the Stay Fit Senior program, it's circuit training. What that means is you're not going to find a treadmill, you're not going to find an elliptical. You're going to find in our program 14 stations that take you through resistance training machines, hydraulic machines that work two major muscle groups on every station. It works every accessory muscle group as well. From there, you get on what's called a mind-body station, and you're there jogging or walking in place depending upon your particular situation that we evaluate. And you'll be in the upright posture looking at flat-screen TVs. Now, why is that important? Because we want your posture up. We don't want people slumping over, looking down at the ground. We want you looking up and focused. You're going to be looking at those flat-screen TVs, and your heart and your lungs are going to be pumping. You're going to bring oxygen to your brain, and at the same time, you're going to be reading on that flat-screen TV information. So you're going to help improve cognitive function. So you're going to be reading, breathing, moving, stimulating all body senses to work the best it possibly can. You're on each station for 60 seconds. At that time, a prompt, almost like a Curvis program, a prompt will say change stations, and you go to the next machine. And you go around this program twice, so that the first time, given your age, if you're not used to going into a gym or you're not really a regular exercise addict and you're just starting for the first time, your first time going around, your muscles start to loosen up, your joints begin to move, your blood starts to pump, and then by the second time you complete the second session around in that half hour, your muscles are loose, now your joints are loose, and you're really getting the full impact. After that, you're encouraged to have a drink of water, sit in the waiting room for a second, you leave, and at that point, after that, as long as the offices are open, you come in on demand. There's no appointment to be needed then, you come in. I am a chiropractor. We can evaluate your spine for chiropractic, but it's not necessary, it's optional. You do not have to be a patient in my office or Dr. Laurel's office. The big thing is to take responsibility and enjoy the program. I hope that answered your... Did I go a little bit too fast, or that makes sense?
No, it makes a lot of sense. And do you also emphasize anything with nutrition and proper eating and, diets and different types of diets as well?
Yeah, well, when you come into the office specifically, we can discuss your nutritional needs and intake if you choose to become a patient in the office, but we will have those conversations during your initial workouts. And then again, there are many different ways of approaching things, from if you have diabetes or you have a high cholesterol and things. But a lot of different forms out there. The key thing, exercise and activity is the gateway for you to make those changes in your life, which makes sense. Absolutely. Love to have you down there in Congress.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Russo. Have a good day.
You too, my pleasure.
Here, bye.
And we do have another caller on the line. Hi, you're on with Dr. Russo.
Okay. Hello, Dr. Russo.
Hello, how are you?
This is Ann.
Hi, Ann.
I'm just calling not to make a comment. I don't have any questions.
Oh, this is Ann Alex. Hi, Ann. I'm sorry. I apologize. Good morning.
Yeah. I just wanted to mention to the audience that I'll be 82 years old, and I've been coming about, 6 years or so.
Yep.
And my son had a wedding for his daughter this past weekend, and I was up dancing like a 2-year-old, or a 20-year-old, I should say, because I was dancing with my granddaughters and my grandsons, and some people, 25 people, my son told me, that the father of the bride, told me that 25 people came up to him and said they couldn't believe that I was his mother. So I just wanted to pass that along, because I believe it's the adjustments that I get to help keep me pain-free, and the exercise that I do twice a week to keep me active so that I can dance like a teenager. And that's my comment, and that's all I want to say. And thank you, Dr. Russo.
And you're a sweetheart. Right now, if you can see me, I got my cheeks are up, and I'm smiling from ear to ear.
Well, I attributed it all to you, and I wanted to pass it along to anyone that's listening to try it out.
Thank you. The big thing, though, is the responsibility started with you, that you took the time out 6 years ago to come in. You were a little skeptical. You weren't sure about chiropractic, and you weren't sure about the exercise. And I says, no harm, no foul. Let's give it a shot. And twice a week, Ann comes in, rain or shine. She's there at least twice a week, and she does her exercise. And that's great. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome, Dr. Russo.
Thanks
See you
for
soon.
calling. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Well, that was a great caller, Dr. Russo.
Yeah, that's a really great thing. I want to say one thing, too. Dr. Laurel, my partner, pointed this out to me several years back. He says, Roger, when we were watching the Jack LaLanne shows, we look at those shows, Jack's taught people exercise and things, but his show was really about motivation. It was really about getting people to get up and take action. And I have to say, he was right, and then I really modeled it after that. Exactly right. I'm not the major expert in every area of physical activity or nutrition and health and the body, but I do one good thing really well, and that is to get people to really look at themselves inside and say, hey, I want to take responsibility. I want to take action. Can you help me, Dr. Russo? You take the responsibility and give me and say help. I'm there to help 100%. Dr. Laura's there to help 100%. And that's what it's all about. The book is about that. Getting people to realize that life is never over. Life is there right until the very end. You don't know. And you have that God-given potential to go forward no matter what's going on. And I got to tell you a little philosophy about life. It's tragedy or things that happen in your life, even sickness at times, make you stronger, because it's the stress on your character that makes you stronger. It's the same thing for the body. These things are natural laws. It's the same thing with the body. If you don't stress the bone, if you don't stress the muscle, and you just sit on the couch, they want to just sit on the couch. But if you do stress it, you do build the character of the muscle, you do build the character of the bone. And again, it comes down to, as Ann did, responsibility, taking action, one step at a time. And at the end, we'll get at the end of the chapter what's called pitter patter or seeing your feet. We'll get into that later on. Go ahead, Kay.
Well, before those callers, I was sharing about how I've been slacking off with my own personal exercise, and I do find your book really inspiring. So for those that are listening and you're thinking, I know I should be doing something, and you need a little bit of that inspiration, I definitely recommend getting this book and just reading through it. It explains Dr. Russo's program, and it also gives you reasons that you probably need to hear on why you should be getting off the couch and off your feet and moving around. We were just talking about how it's not too late. It's never too late to build muscle. And another interesting part of your book, you mentioned how you can improve bone density. Can you just explain what that is?
Well, basically, it's very simple. Studies show that a woman or a man 72 to 98 years of age can lift weights 3 times a week for 10 weeks. And at the end of that study, it showed that there was an increase in thigh mass, 2.7%. The walking speed increased by 12%, and the leg strength increased by 113%. It's very simple. When you stress the system has to respond. It responds in a positive way. And if you're a living, breathing individual, you have that living, breathing potential to fight back in a positive way, to build stronger bone and stronger muscle. And you will get the results, as well as the vanity's sake. You will see the tone. You will feel the tone. Again, our program says, okay, you don't want to go into a regular gym. I understand that. You're not used to a regular gym. You don't feel safe in a regular gym. That's great. Our program is for those that feel intimidated in a regular program, for those that don't want to exercise for health and well-being, not for vanity. But when you're exercising for health and well-being, things start to change. Your mood changes, your diet changes, your appearance changes, and you even get that little twinkle back in your eye.
And like that caller that just called in, was it Ann?
That was Ann.
Who was dancing away at the wedding, and I'm sure she feels more alive, feels more youthful, and it shows, and that's why she received all those compliments and comments.
Absolutely.
And as far as the bone density goes, I have a brother-in-law who is an orthopedic surgeon.
Okay.
I know he, unfortunately, is doing a lot of hip fracture repairs, and that sounds like one of the common things that may happen as you get older. And so improving your bone density actually could help prevent. Is that correct?
Part of the major expense of the insurance companies and the healthcare system is the treatment of bone fractures and surgeries in surgical hospitals. I'm just going to read a testimonial in the book from a Marion who's 80-ish. She's a very intelligent PhD who comes into our intellectual woman who comes into our office regularly for the Stay Fit Senior program, and she basically writes in the book, after my first 2 years of Stay Fit Seniors, a bone density test of my lumbar spine showed it grew stronger. For the bone density increased 4.4%. In the following 2 years, the density of my left hip had increased 3.9%. Both statistically significant increases due not to any medication, but to the unique exercise programs at Stay Fit Seniors. Now, I just said something that's kind of a loaded statement there, but I'll explain a little better. But for the most part, she's contributing her health to her responsibility to take action, to come in and exercise on the Stay Fit Senior program. We're not the only program, but we're a damn good program, in my opinion, actually, because I helped create it. The part about the medication, I'm not here to say that you never need the medication, because we'll go on further on in the book, that you need to create a healthcare team, because you need your chiros, you need your medical doctor, and you need all those people in the healthcare profession that can help you get along in life to live those long years the best we can.
And we're going to go to the phone for a moment because we do have Donna Scanlon on the line from the Office for the Aging. Hi, Donna.
Well, good morning, Carrie. Good morning, Dr. Russo.
Good morning, Ms. Scanlon. How are you?
Now, the one thing I don't want you to ask me is my age, because I knew you asked the caller the age. Please don't ask me that.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I just wanted to comment that to the audience that I was fortunate enough to receive a copy of the Stay Fit Seniors book and found it very beneficial after reading through it, because it addresses the health of mind and body. And really, we all know that's the key to living longer and living well. Oh, excuse me. So I just wanted to make that comment, and I think people picking up the book would really benefit from all the different chapters, especially the real answer part you have in the book is really an eye-opener. It's a lot of common sense, but we need to revisit all those things that are in there. So I would suggest people picking up the book.
Thank you, Donna.
You're welcome.
And Donna, before you go, you're going to be having a show a month from today, the third Thursday in May. Can you tell us what you're going to be talking about?
Well, thank you, Carrie. Yes, we're going to be talking about the power of age. It's an annual event. It used to be called Senior Awareness Day. We've changed the whole outlook of the program, and like I said, it's at RCC May 21st. It's a half-day program, and we'll be having workshops and giving the awards for the Senior of the Year. Our keynote speaker will be County Executive Ed Day, which we're very excited about. And some of the workshops are reflexology, spirituality, acupressure, acupuncture. So we'll have some real dynamic workshops that I hope people will get excited about and come on out. Again, it's a half-day program from like 8 to 1. So those are the things that I'll be talking about, and obviously I'll go more in depth on that show. I think I go on May 15th, right, Carrie?
Yes,
Yeah,
that's correct.
I think it's the 15th. Yeah, so thank you for that.
Well, thank you, and thanks for calling in.
Oh, my pleasure.
And
Take
thanks
care.
for the Office of the Aging.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for your support as well.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Now, I think you mentioned you often have articles in the newsletter that the Office for the Aging puts out?
Yes, they put out their newsletter, and they always put an excerpt of the book. They have been doing it recently. Of the book in there. I mean, we do have an ad in there to come in and exercise at the facility, but they do put little excerpts in there. I think the last one was on about fiber for the senior to take more fiber. Before that, it was talking about the necessity of exercise and things.
Did she say Senior Awareness Day is now Power of Aging?
Yes, she did.
Because that makes me think of your book.
There you go. Power of Aging. Maybe that's the new title of the next one. Who knows? There's another one. I think my family will shoot me. But go ahead.
All right. We better not go there then. Well, as far as the senior community goes, cost is often an issue. How do people pay for the program if they're interested in
Right.
participating in the Stay Fit Senior program?
Well, if they want to come into this for Stay Fit Seniors, basically several things. The insurance companies, I stated earlier, certain Medicare secondaries, or Medigap insurance, do have what's called the Silver Sneaker or Silver and Fit benefit. Aetna has Silver and Fit, and a lot of the Blue Cross plans have Silver Sneakers. Those insurance companies recognize that if they get people in there exercising, they're going to spend less money on prevention, rather the treatment of a chronic disease. So if you have that benefit, Silver Sneakers or Silver and Fit, you can come into the facility and you can come up to 10 times or 12 times at absolutely no cost to you. The insurance company pays us directly for that. If you don't have that, if you're a baby boomer, if you're 64 and under, and you want to come in, there's no contract to sign. It's just like a doctor's office. You come in, $5 is payment in full. You come in, you use the program at least twice a week. We recommend twice a week. Some people come in 3 times a week. You pay $5, you use it. You're there for the half hour. I'm there. You can pick my brain or whatever goes on, and you leave. It's on demand, no contract. You come, you go to Florida for the winter, you go to Florida. You come back, you don't have to worry about things. The big thing is no intimidation. And then if you have commercial insurance and things, there's other ways of doing that if you're under my care for rehabilitation of the actual spine itself and the chiropractic.
Well, I have had the opportunity to visit your office before and meet some of the seniors that were working out there, and it was just such a positive atmosphere.
Yes.
Everyone seemed very comfortable. People made friends with each other. I don't know if they were friends prior to or not, but everyone seemed to, hey, Joe, how are you? Great to see you, and great camaraderie. And it also seemed like a place where you could just really feel comfortable instead of going to a regular gym where you got the, all ages, the 16-year-olds and to the whatever age, kind of showing off in their workout gear. This was a place where, I guess you guide everyone on what ability they're at.
Yeah, basically when I didn't mean to cut you off, I apologize.
No, go ahead.
Basically, when they first come in, we actually, meet the person, greet them. We go through range of motion and really, ascertain what they're looking for. We try to figure out where they're at in their health issues, what they can and can't do. Most people can do the program, and there are settings on our resistance on our hydraulics that I can work out a 400-pound 23-year-old football player or a 98-year-old senior at a 2 setting, which I do have in my office. And she's in the last chapter in the book. She's 97, quoting in the book, but now she's 98. And her first name is Marge, and she's a great lady. She's an inspiration. But let me say this. Most chiropractors around the country, chiropractors are really known as the people doctors. I mean, we see people fairly regularly, and it's a fun environment. And it's a nice, pleasant atmosphere for seniors or for people to come in general. A lot of times the doctor, when he goes into work every morning, and it's work, but not really because it's my passion, but when you go in, you have to bring your energy into the office and pump up your patients. But I got to tell you, since I have Stay Fit Seniors, it really works the other way, because sometimes I can drag in after a long day or whatever, a night or whatever, and I come in and whether I'm pumped or not, give me 3 minutes in my office, and there's seniors and baby boomers in there. They're pumping me up. They're talking. They're listening to the 50s music. They're dancing. They're exercising instead of at the mind body station. Instead of walking in place, they're swaying with the music in place. They're having fun. They're laughing. They're talking. So it is a very lively, fun, pumped up place when you come in, when everybody's there. Later in the day, a lot of seniors aren't in there. So later in the day, there's several people in there, not a whole lot. And then you feel like you're in your own private little gym, which is great because you don't want to get run over by the spandex or the muscle heads. Mm-hmm. You know, there was a study done in the Annuals of Behavioral Medicine about. It came to light 6 months after we started Stay Fit Seniors, and I said to Dr. Laurel, I think they're bugging my computer. He says, why? I said, because we started this because we know seniors need a safe, comfortable place. They like to exercise with themselves. He says, yeah. I said, well, this study just came out that says seniors love to exercise either alone or in a place where their peers are exercising. They don't like the spandex generation. I said, so they found my formula. Well, what are we going to do? And he looked at me and laughed, and actually I was joking, but that's the trend. So we knew it then, we know it now, and even more so now. I mean, everybody wants to exercise in a comfortable setting, and that's what we're doing. And she's got the phone again, and I don't know if it's a caller in or not, but that's okay, because now that she's got me warmed up, as nervous as I was, I can keep talking.
Unfortunately, there's this fax machine that keeps calling the wrong number here, so that's been interrupting.
No problem.
But, you know, I think it's kind of ironic. For those of you who are listening, I mean, obviously, Dr. Russo is really passionate about this because... Why? I was going to answer that for you, but why are you passionate about this?
Well, first of all, I love what I do. It's not work to me. I've been a chiropractor for 34 years. My partner's father, basically, Dr. Frederick Laurel. Dr. Anthony's my partner. Dr. Frederick Laurel saved my life when I was 15 years of age. We get into the book about my history as a child, and the reason we do that is because I tell people, you have to have a healthcare team. It starts with your responsibility first. You're the first member of your team. You've got to be true to yourself. Then you start your healthcare team. You start your team with your primary care physician. You start your team with a good chiropractor. And that's what I did. I was severely asthmatic. I don't want to go into the whole story, but pneumonia 9 times, pleurisy 4, a lot of asthma attacks. And right now my family's probably rolling their eyes because I constantly tell the story. But I was a very sickly kid. And then my parents introduced me to Dr. Laurel. And he said, well, what do you do, in between asthma attacks? I said, well, we sit and we wait for the next one. He said, well, while you sit and wait for the next one, let's try to get your body to work better from within. And I said, okay. And I went back to my medical doctors, and they kept me going during acute situations, which I advise everybody has their great medical doctor. But then I noticed, as Dr. Laurel began adjusting my spine, and we're going to get into that, why seniors and baby boomers need it. But as he was adjusting my spine and helping my body work better from within, I wasn't getting the asthma attacks as much. I wasn't getting those allergy reactions as much. I wasn't getting those sinus infections as much. And then I realized, hey, my body's working better from within. I still needed my MDs there, but my body was working from within. So at 16, I remember walking in and telling my father, Dad, I know what I want to do with life. I want to go give back to what I've given back, and that's become a chiropractor. So I became a chiropractor. And now, fast forward, I'm in practice now 33 years. I graduated in 1980. But in year 25 was a very bad year for me. It's in the book. In year of the 25th year of my practice, or 24th year. At that point, my father was already gone, 66 years of age, diabetic neuropathy, diabetes, heart disease, triple bypass, stents, the whole bit. My mom passed away at 71 of pancreatic cancer. And the bottom line was, wait a minute. I have a practice. My parents had great medical care for all these years. God bless their medical doctors. Great chiropractic care for many years. First Dr. Laurel and then myself. Why did this have to happen at a young age? Because by today's standard, that's a very young age. And then it hit me. Well, my parents did not take that responsibility, and I'm urging everybody to take. They didn't take that responsibility. They loved us. They worked, but they went home at night, loved us, sat on the couch. Didn't exercise, didn't take that responsibility of diet, or didn't take that responsibility of exercise. Typical Italians, not to offend the Italians, because I'm an Italian, true and true. Responsibility. So then I realized, wait a minute, that's the key. Everybody talks about exercise for seniors. I want people to come into the chiropractic office and understand an alternative way of looking at health. Why not provide a safe place for seniors and baby boomers, at that time it was just strictly seniors, to come in and find a safe place to exercise, fulfill that need, educate them on a different kind of lifestyle, and sit back and see what happens. Well, I started with 5 people. Unfortunately, we lost one, John, last year. He was a World War II vet, very proud Marine. We lost John, but we still have the other 4 women. And from those 4, we have now, I think we're going to go on 15 or 16 locations around the country. These are licensed to other doctors, and they don't have to be a chiropractor, other doctors that want to share in the mission of not only giving lip service to a person to say, go exercise. Well, you know what? Go exercise. I'm going to give you a place to do it. You don't want to go to the regular gym? There you go, right here in my office. So that became my passion. Dr. Laurel came on after about a year and said, Roger, I think you have something here. I want to do one as well. He did one. And then he and I further improved the Stay Fit Senior program. And voila. That's so it is how I breathe. Bottom line.
You hit a heartstring with that because I lost my parents at a young age as well, and the same thing. They were not physically active in that sense, but it's so ironic that the reasons that we give ourselves for excuses not to exercise. Right. Exercise is the remedy. You know, I'm too tired, I'm achy, my arthritis is acting up. All of those things, the energy level, can be improved through exercise.
Let me say this. When I speak to the senior group, I yell out to the audience and say, who has high blood pressure? And they raise their hand. Who has osteoporosis? They raise their hand. Who has diabetes? They raise their hand. I say, now, you guys all go to different medical doctors, correct? They say, yes. I says, then you're all on different medications? They say, yeah, I'm on a diabetic medication. I'm on an osteoporotic medication. I said, great. What's the one prescription that your MD, every one of your MDs would prescribe that's common to diabetes, that's common to osteoporosis, that's common to heart disease? And they look at me. And they go, I don't know. I said, physical activity is the most common prescription an MD would write. There's an initiative in the medical profession called Exercise is Medicine. Just that they give lip service and don't know where to send you to, or they can't provide it for you unless they become a Stay Fit Senior location. But that's the key. Do you know what the most prescribed pill would be in the world?
Aspirin, pain relief.
No. The most prescribed pill in the world would be, if they can create it, a physical activity pill.
Oh.
Because if they can put that effects of physical activity in a pill, it would be the most prescribed pill from all health disciplines, not only from physical maladies, but from emotional and psychological maladies. Again, physical activity of any kind, I happen to be partial to my program, but of any kind, will improve your mood, improve your body, and improve your life. And it'll improve your potential caretaker's life. It'll improve your children's life. It'll improve your grandchildren's life, because this society is falling apart from lack of family unity. People are dying too young, which can be prevented, and it's responsibility again.
Time is going fast. I told you, Dr. Russo, when you're passionate about something, the time goes fast. So we have perhaps enough time for 1 or 2 more quick phone calls at 362-0013. But before we end the program, I'd like you to cover 2 things, if you could. One, the optional part about chiropractic care. Right. You mentioned that in your book. And after that, if you can just cover the ending part of your book, the pitter-patter of senior feet. Yeah, those 2 things are very important to me. Again, we talk about in the book the importance of physical activity. And there's a part about chiropractic care being optional. Because, again, chiropractic care is an alternate approach towards health. It's really not an alternate. It should be a major component towards leading a healthy life. And as seniors and baby boomers, as baby boomers begin to age and become seniors, your spinal integrity, the dynamics of your spine tends to become more stiff and rigid. You'll hear terms like degenerative disc disease, and your discs are drying out, things of that nature. Your body's not functioning optimally the best it can. So as a chiropractor, to make sure you're receiving the best benefit from the body's reaction to your exercise or your body's reaction to your diet, you want to make sure your nervous system is functioning to its full potential. And how the nervous system gets compromised is through interference from the spinal bones on the spinal nerves. So as a chiropractor, we have many different techniques, very gentle techniques, because there's very horror stories about that, very gentle techniques on how to
adjust the spine, to get the spine to be a little bit more dynamic, and to help with the aging process of the spine to progress. Because everybody thinks, oh, I'm going to have an old back. You don't have to have an old back. Let's get the spine moving, take your responsibility, and chiropractic care will enhance that. So I urge everybody to be under chiropractic care, but I'm saying if that's not your, cup of tea to go to a chiropractor, that's okay. Still get out there and exercise, but to improve your body's reaction to your exercise, to your eating properly, a finely tuned nervous system through chiropractic care can help that. Now, my last chapter of the book, it goes into pitter-patter of senior feet, that if we had enough senior feet pitter-pattering across the country, we would greatly reduce the healthcare costs of this country. But again, I want to get into the healthcare, the way people look at things. This country talks about healthcare. Well, let's break that down to three things. We should have self-care, help care, and crisis care. Self-care is the things we're talking about. Responsibility for exercise, your environment, things that you eat, your nutrition, your mood. That's your self-care, things you can do for yourself. Then you have to develop help care. That's where you develop your team. Besides yourself, you have your good general practitioner who can run you for your colonoscopies if need be, who can help you do your different testings for diabetes and things. That's your help. You need your help. And then, unfortunately, if things do deteriorate and break down, there is crisis care. And at crisis care, you need the care, and you need the insurance company to step in and save your butt. But the bottom line is, if you reverse the order, don't everybody in this country just waits for crisis. They smell smoke, they do nothing until they see the fire. Now we get the firemen to come in, the community, the expense. Well, if you did the self-care and you did the help care first, put that in, that's a great health care system. And then if there's a crisis, fine. But don't reverse the order. The expense of this country is because of the crisis treatment of disease.
And yes, you're on the air with Dr. Russo.
Hi, how are you? I just had a quick question. I had seen on television, let me lower my radio, about a woman, elderly woman who had osteoporosis, and then she weightlifted, and it disappeared. But that is not true, right? You cannot build bone back once you have it, right?
No, you can build bone. I mean, the medication tries to help you rebuild bone mass, and studies show up to 93 years of age, the study was 93 years of age, you can rebuild bone mass. The body can lay down the matrix of bone to rebuild. Yes. You have to do that very cautiously. You just can't jump into a weightlifting program. It has to be structured or in a safe environment like our program.
Right. Well, I actually had been to Helen Hayes.
Yes, great program there at Helen Hayes.
Well, they told me certain exercises to do, so I'm trying to do that to keep my bones healthy.
You can, and you can also come into a safe environment. Like I said, Helen Hayes, they have a program. It's a 6-week program, I believe, and you have a lot of physical therapists, which are great for 6-week programs. But you want to create a lifestyle, so you want to come and go on your own in a senior safe environment like our location or somewhere else, or find something. Make it a lifestyle. Every day, get up and do it, or 2 or 3 times a week, and that would be my suggestion.
And where is your program located?
I'm located in Congers, New York, right on 303. 268-5122 is my office number.
5122. Okay, thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Thanks for calling. And Dr. Russo, we are pretty much out of time here, and it has gone fast, and you're so fun and energetic to listen to. And for everybody out there, what I get out of this is you can stop the degeneration process and regenerate. So I recommend getting Dr. Russo's book. That's a first step. And where can they get it again, Dr. Russo?
You can get it online at stayfitseniorsbook.com. You can either download it or on your Kindle, or you can get it at Amazon. You can get it through there at the office. So it's at my office also, 268-5122. And if you want to come in and say hello to me and I'll sign the book, that would be great too. Or we'll mail it out to you either way.
I say come. You got to go in and meet Dr. Russo.
Thank you, Karen.
See that great smile and take a look at the office.
Thank you.
But thank you for a great program. And again, stay tuned next month for Donna Scanlon from the Office for the Aging when she talks about the power of age. Is that right, Dr. Russo?
That's right. Thank you very, very much. I'm really happy, and you made this hour go kind of quick, which is great. Thank you.
It's all local here. Local news, local traffic, and local weather on AM 1300 WRCR and WRCR.com.